Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is kind of a long title when you think about it. I, of course, am your host, Caleb Johnston, and I'm here with my co-host, Cameron. Cameron, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and also, we're really doing these Marvel reviews for this year out of order.
We really are.
But it's just because, Days of Future Past was just, oh, we should review that. Then Guardians, we both saw and we really wanted to talk about. And now we were going to review a different movie, but then it fucked up where I couldn't watch it, so we're going to review Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, of course, after the first Amazing Spider-Man, follows Peter Parker in his, he's been Spider-Man for a while, he's dating Gwen Stacy, everything's all going good, then Harry Osborn's like, I'm dying, Peter, I need Spider-Man's blood or something. Oscorp's kind of just a dick overall, and then Oscorp's just a dick, and then he wants to know more about his parents' death and shit. So that's pretty much it. It's actually kind of a weird plot to explain.
Yeah.
There are a few plots in this movie. I will say this, though. So, Cameron, going to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I will say this, that the first, 20 minutes was very comedic.
It was. It really was.
And the thing is, it wasn't awkward. It was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
I will say, going into this right off the bat, and, because we like to break things down, is, so first of all, overall, we can give our overall thoughts and kind of break it down and then go into spoilers, because it is still a fairly new movie.
Yeah.
So, so going up, Cameron, what did you overall think of this movie?
Okay. Going into it, I heard mixed things. I heard a lot of people say it was horrible, and you said it was really good.
Yeah, exactly.
I am going to side with my friendo here. It was really good. Really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? It sucked." Like, it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't.
I've seen really stupid reasons for the reason people hate this movie. Overall, like I said, I thought it was fantastic. I don't think we've ever seen a better representation of Spider-Man in action.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the greatest Spider-Man scenes we've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And one thing too, I really like is we've got. Better, I will say this: even though they're not playing the same character, Emma Stone is leagues above Kirsten Dunst when it comes to being a love interest.
Yes.
Kirsten Dunst was not very good, and then she's better than Bryce Dallas Howard was as Gwen Stacy. But Dallas Howard was not that bad.
Eh.
Also, why does Bryce Dallas Howard have 3 first names?
Just because.
Because she's actually kind of hot. That's probably why.
She is.
Not Gwen Stacy. She was Gwen Stacy. not Emma Stone hot, but she was hot. So like I said, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Like, I didn't have an issue with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters. I mean, you didn't. You just recently watched it, and it's like I didn't see an issue with it. I really fucking enjoyed myself during it.
I did too.
And people can say the entire movie was in the trailer. No, it wasn't.
No.
One thing is, I'm a person who trailers don't bother me unless they flat out spoil stuff.
Yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, seeing a couple scenes from the movie before going to see the movie doesn't ruin it for me. Unless they show everything in the trailer, like Lord of the Rings 2 Towers or Terminator Salvation, where they show pretty much everything in the trailer. Those are really the only movies I can really say, yeah, they showed a lot. That I really don't get. So let's go into character breakdowns, because we like to do that with superhero movies.
We do.
We like to do that with all movies. Okay, so first up we have Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yes.
I love him. See, people hate him because he's cocky.
That's Spider-Man.
Exactly. Like, as good as Tobey Maguire was as Spider-Man, and he was good, I feel like those movies gave people who had never read the comics or watched any of the cartoons a false idea of who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that he was bad, but he was more of the whole, oh, I'm Spider-Man. This dude's like, hey, fuck you, I'm Spider-Man, man. Whoa, look at me. That's how Spider-Man's always been.
Yes.
Andrew Garfield looks and represents Peter Parker perfectly. You know, that was a tongue tie. You know you would have done it too. He represents him perfectly.
Yes.
I think it's really good. I thought the costume was amazing in this movie. I just think it was a good representation of Spider-Man.
It was.
Overall, the best thing about this movie was Spider-Man in action.
Yes.
And it's just awesome. It's just really great. And I understand people's gripes with the first movie, but this one I don't get as much because it's like he was good as Spider-Man. I don't know. So then we have Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. Wait. Did you actually give any thoughts on Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man?
I did. I did.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say about him?
He's really good. I love the choice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So then we have Gwen Stacy in this movie. Gwen, I think she's really good. Like, I really did feel like whenever the scenes where Gwen and Peter were together, I'm like, oh, these two are a cute couple. It wasn't like when Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst were together, and it was like, oh, Kirsten Dunst is a bitch. You can do so much better than this, Peter. Why are you doing this?
Here's the thing. Here's why Andrew and Emma, because they both look at each other's league. First of all, that's why
Yes.
they made. That's why they are a good couple on screen, because they're both in each other's league. Because both of them look really good.
Plus, they are also dating in real life.
Yeah.
So it's like the thing is the best on-screen chemistry, unless you're Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner in that one movie they did after Daredevil. Unless usually when you're a couple, oh, actually I keep thinking of examples, and this is one of the few times we've actually seen a real life couple have on-screen chemistry. Is that weird? Like I was about to say usually we do. I'm like, wait, no, we don't. We usually don't. Remember Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Never saw the movie.
Not a great movie. It. Angelina Jolie, though. I think that was Angelina Jolie. I don't know. I'm probably butchering the people that were in these movies, but like I don't know. It's just Gwen was a really good side character in this. It's like, and this is going to sound like I'm nitpicking the other Spider-Man movies, but I love the other Spider-Man movies. I really love Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. I do not like Spider-Man 3. But the thing is I don't know. I just felt like it's just she was a good side character. I cared about her. With the whole thing where I might go to London, I cared about her as a character. That's all I can ask for with a love interest in a superhero thing.
See, for some reason, and don't ask me why, she was a pinch annoying to me. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit.
See, I didn't get that. Like you were telling me about that earlier. I was like, I didn't see it. I didn't see any annoying about her.
It's not a lot, and it wasn't a lot that she did. It was just enough for me to notice it. That hey, she's a little bit annoying, but not a whole lot.
See, I probably need to.
Not enough to ruin the movie. Not
Yeah,
enough.
I need to rewatch it to see what I think about it again.
Yeah.
To see like maybe I would see it. Like maybe I just didn't notice while I was in theaters. So then another thing, not a thing, a person is a human being. Another person we got Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn. I thought he was a fucking amazing Harry Osborn.
Yes, and I gave you a really detailed analysis on him as Harry.
Yeah, exactly. He's not better or worse than James Franco. They were both perfect for their film series.
Yes, they were both perfect for their film series. James couldn't be in this one, and Dane couldn't be in the other one. They're perfect for their respective series.
And one thing I really like is Dane really, really looks like Harry in this. I felt like he was Harry Osborn. Like, I felt like this dude could be psychotic.
Yeah.
And then we got Jamie Foxx as Electro.
They really like making him blue, don't they?
Really do.
Django Unchained reference, too. He wore blue.
Yes! That's a really good reference to the movie we were going to review tonight.
Yeah.
That's a really good reference. But Jamie Foxx, I've seen people compare him to Hayden Christensen for the Star Wars prequels. In that he gave really emotionless delivery. Like, I didn't get that. Granted, they could have given him a little more character development.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more going into his origin, but I didn't have an issue with him.
No, I didn't either. I really liked it. Like you said, they could have went a little bit more in depth, but overall, it was really good.
See, the original script was going to involve him living with his mom.
That probably would have helped a lot more.
That would have, because the thing is, from what we saw, he's kind of just this nerd who, no one likes him and he gets no respect and he's really clumsy and he works for Oscorp. Which, remember, kids, the message of this Spider-Man film series is Oscorp bad. And then he kind of is obsessed with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So there is that. And one thing then one cool thing I did like is I liked the voices in his head. Like the little, the little songy voices.
Yes.
That scene in Times Square is amazing.
Right.
It's so good. Like, he betrayed you. Spider-Man betrayed you. It was really good. It was really, really good. But going back to speaking of which of stuff that could have gone in more in depth, Peter and Harry's relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah,
think this is something that Raimi movies did better, where they had two movies of being bros, and then they had the third movie of like, I hate you, Peter, even though we all know how Spider-Man 3 kind of fucked up their rivalry.
yeah,
But granted, it's like with this, and there is a scene which we'll talk about in the spoiler section where it reminded me of Spider-Man 3 in a really weird. Well, there are two things that kind of reminded me about Spider-Man 3 in a weird way.
all right,
But and I'll explain all in the spoiler section because, like I said, it's a newer movie. Some people probably haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil shit.
yeah,
So yeah, it's just one of those fucking things where Peter and Harry their relationship could have gone, and we all know it is not a spoiler that Harry is the Green Goblin.
no,
If you watch the trailer, you'd see that. So it's one of those things where it's like their friendship didn't last long. Like it's like, oh, they were friends back in the day. They're gonna hang out for a couple scenes. I need Spider-Man's blood, Peter. Because okay, basically the whole that was so short, and basically we have the whole goblin disease thing where he inherited a goblin disease from Norman and stuff, so he needs to be careful, and Spider-Man's blood might be able to help it because they figured out it was Oscorp spiders.
yeah. That's
So that was what the goblin disease. That was really, really weird. But speaking of which, did you notice that one of the coolest lines from the trailer isn't in the movie?
no,
Remember that whole scene where he's like, "Why is Oscorp watching me? Isn't that the question of the day?" That's not in the movie.
really,
Yeah, you didn't notice that?
no. I didn't notice that.
I was so disappointed when that was the one thing that really disappointed me about this movie was I wanted to hear Dane DeHaan say that line. Ah, oh, that line. But anyway, overall, since I think it's probably about time to go into spoilers, so basically, before we go into the spoiler section, I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a pretty decent movie. I don't get why people hate it so much. I mean, I can see the reason. I can more get the reason people hate the first one than this. I really don't. Like I said, it's not supposed to be like the others. This is a reboot. This is different. It's a different take on Spider-Man.
And people who don't understand Spider-Man, that's kind of like a PG Deadpool.
Exactly. That's why he's so cocky.
Yes.
Alright, so this is the spoiler section, and see, Guardians of the Galaxy, I have made it really clear this is the spoiler section, but since this movie's been about 3 months, I'm gonna say this is the spoiler section.
Yeah, spoiler section, people.
Right here, I'm not gonna go as in depth about, like, fucking brace yourself, since this movie's been out for 3 months. So yeah, you've been fucking warned. Okay, so the first thing about this movie was, I really liked the graduation scene.
I did too. Yeah.
I just want to randomly say that. I thought that was a cool scene. And then and I love how the ghost of Captain Stacy is like, "Whoa, Peter, what you doing there?" Like at the beginning, it's more in the beginning of the movie, but it was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I really liked that they got him back to do that. Then the opening, one thing too is, what did you speak? We didn't talk about this in the normal section. What did you think of Paul Giamatti as Rhino? I feel like you did not like it at all because I know you hate Rhino.
See, here's the thing. Me liking a Spider-Man villain is weird. A lot of them I don't like.
You really don't like
Rhino
Spider-Man
is
villains.
kinda in the middle. I didn't mind this Rhino. I just thought it was like weird. That's
One thing too is they acted like he was going to be important, and he was in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
He's in 2 scenes. In one scene, he is just Alex. I forgot his last name. You know, he's the Russian mobster, and then at the end of the movie, he's Rhino.
Yeah.
Another thing is, how do they decide who's going to randomly do this stuff? Like they're just like, oh, Russian mobster, he'd be perfect to wear a giant Rhino suit.
I don't want to go ask them.
I guess I should go ask them. And the thing is, we do know Paul Giamatti is going to be Rhino again in the Sinister Six movie, and most likely the Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
You really don't like the concept of a Sinister Six movie.
I really don't.
It doesn't make it. Okay, I think I figured out what that movie might be. Is if you really think about it, a Sinister Six movie might just be Dane DeHaan and the gentleman, which that dude, I believe his name is the gentleman, the dude in the hat.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's just gonna be him, Dane, or Harry, and Rhino just going around finding the other guys.
Do we want that though?
I think so. I think I might
really
want that.
though?
I kind of do. I kind of want to see a recruitment process. That'd be kind of cool.
Maybe.
I don't know. We don't even know we don't even know the plot of the movie yet.
We
Besides, it's going to be the Sinister Six, and Peter Parker's probably not going to be in it. But holy fuck, though, like 3 spin-off movies before the next one. That is just weird. So weird.
I don't understand it.
I don't either, because it's like we get it. And okay, one thing too is Black Cat has a cameo in this.
Yes.
Felicia Hardy is in this as it's insinuated that she stuck Norman's dick.
Yes.
A lot. And maybe she'll suck Harry's dick now. Do we want that?
Maybe.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that sex scene. I don't remember who plays Felicia, but she was attractive. I really liked her. I wouldn't mind seeing her put on a white wig and go around clawing people and touching Spider. As long as she isn't like Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns, where she for no reason just grabs Spider-Man's balls and just like tries to lick his face in the middle of fighting him. No, I really do like it. You know how much I love Black Cat.
Yes.
I think it could really work. So, what do you think about the storyline with Peter and his dad?
I loved it.
See, I really loved it, but my one thing, though, is at the end of the day, the only thing it revealed was Oscorp bad.
Yeah.
And that Spider-Man is the chosen one?
See, okay, here's the thing. I think I've just figured out something with Spider-Man movies.
What's that?
They don't know if they want to make them mature or kid-friendly.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. They really don't.
Like you said, it's just an Oscorp bad. That's all that really did.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not hating on the movie. It's just, you gotta nitpick even good movies.
Yeah.
Another thing, though, too, is, and since this is the spoiler section, obviously, I feel like Green Goblin was only in the movie to kill Gwen.
Yes.
That's my one issue, is I feel like it didn't have to happen in this movie.
It didn't. It really didn't, honestly.
I mean, the thing with it, though, was it's like, and one thing that, okay, the weird thing about him turning into the Goblin was he just so happened to be in the hangar when he inserted the blood, he kind of just went to a random thing. The body armor attached to him, his hair, for some reason, slicked back. Which still makes no sense. Like, why does the Goblin disease make his hair slip back?
Maybe.
We don't know, I guess. But Norman, with his giant... I want to talk all about Norman's Goblin disease in a second.
Okay.
But there's the whole thing about it was just like... I don't know, even though I will say this, though, is... I loved the revelation to him finding out that he... Like, the way he finds out that Peter is Spider-Man is he goes to the Electro thing, or to, after Spider-Man and Gwen brutally murder Electro. They murdered... No, see, the thing is, even though people hate this movie, everyone bitches about Superman killing Zod. But no, let's not bitch about Spider-Man and Gwen brutally murdering Electro.
Oh, so here's the thing. Electro can die. Zod should have never died.
But that's not the reason, Cameron. The reason is because Superman doesn't kill people.
No. Here's the thing. No, let's just forget Superman doesn't kill people. Zod just shouldn't have died. Period.
That's a good point. Why are we talking about Superman? Anyway. So I do one thing you cannot is I think one of the best scenes in this movie is after they brutally kill Electro and then you hear the Goblin laugh.
Yeah.
I will say this, you know I love Willem Dafoe.
You do.
I still, to this day, even though I like this series a little better, I think Willem Dafoe is the greatest representation of a Spider-Man villain we've seen on the big screen.
Oh yes.
Willem Dafoe is one of my favorite. You know I'm a huge mark for Willem Dafoe.
Yes, you are.
I think he's one of my favorite actors ever. I love him as the Green Goblin. But his Green Goblin laugh was just like, ha! This Goblin laugh is the Goblin laugh.
Yes.
This is it. Oh, so good. And then he's like, and then you just see Spider-Man, he looks over and Gwen's there, he's like, Peter! And I will say, that fight scene was really good, though.
It really was.
But, of course, being the fan I am of Spider-Man, I knew this was coming, though, the second we got to the clock tower.
Yeah.
And the thing, though, is I was and the thing, I will say, the first time I watched this movie, when it was happening and when she was about to fall, it was one of those things where, like, I knew she had to die, but in my head I was like, oh my god, please don't kill Gwen.
Right.
That's how I was with. I'm like, oh my god, they're about to kill Gwen. Don't do it. Don't. And I'm gonna say the two reasons this reminded me of Spider-Man 3 now, because they both involve Harry. Number one, it's kind of like you gotta say Green Goblin. And I will say this: I did not think of this on my own. It was brought up. It was coming to my attention by Jeremy Johns. So I'm just gonna put that up there. But it's just he reminded me of Venom in Spider-Man 3 to a degree.
Really?
Where, okay, if you look at it this way, where there were whispers of him being in the movie, and then you thought you saw him in a trailer, and then you saw him in the trailer, and then the entire movie, he's Harry, or in Spider-Man 3's case, he was Eddie Brock, and then he gets like 15, 20 minutes of screen time as the villain.
Really good point.
Yeah, exactly. And then, granted, this is a much better movie than Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
So then after that, the other thing was whenever Harry's head hit that gear, part of me was scared this was going to be like Spider-Man 3 and he would get amnesia.
Really?
Yeah, I was really scared about that. I was like, oh my god, no, you just made Harry the Goblin. You made him so awesome. He could be amazing. Do not do this. Don't make the same mistake Spider-Man 3 made. And I will say this, another really weird thing about it was Rhino was also, like, really, Rhino wasn't in the movie that much either, like we brought up. So really, Electro was kind of the only villain with more than 20 minutes of screen time as a villain.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. That's kind of weird. I will say this, though, is Electro going into that electrical socket was amazing.
Yes.
That's just something random. And also, Gwen's death was so fucking good.
It really was.
God, it's so good. It's just thinking about it, I'm getting, like, pumped in a weird way because I love good filmmaking. And it's like, she's, like, going down, and he gets the web, and it hits her foot, and just, fuck, my headphones fell out, god damn it. I apologize for that botch. My headphones fell out because I hit my headphones. But, and then all of a sudden her neck just snaps, and I'm like, ah! It's so good. So good. And he's like, wake up, and then she's like bleeding. Was it her nose or her head?
What?
Was it her nose or her head that was bleeding?
I think nose.
The only thing, though, was pointed out to me as well was that, like, her head probably shouldn't have been in that good of condition. But I get it, for filmmaking purposes, her head can't be a watermelon that you dropped on the ground.
Yeah.
One thing I really like about this, too, is this sets up in sequels and stuff, for Harry and Peter to fucking hate each other. Even more. Because he's got revenge on his mind. So, J. Jonah Jameson has a tiny little hint in this movie.
You know how much I love J. Jonah Jameson.
I do, and we need... The thing is, I will say this, though, they're really cock-teasing him, too.
They are.
In the first movie, they kind of referenced it, I think, and then in this movie, they really referenced it in that email.
Yes.
And he was in the original script. We should talk about the original script, shouldn't we?
We should.
So also, speaking of which, let's talk about, because this does have to do with a deleted scene, let's talk about Norman. It was so weird only calling him Norman and not calling him Goblin. First of all, I have no issue with the dude who plays him, it's just that I don't know if I would want to see this guy as the Green Goblin.
No.
I'm kind of more cool with him just being Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
And he only has like a couple lines, he's like, son, and he's got like... And the thing I really liked about him was he was the goblin colors. Like, he had purple rings around his eyes, and he had greenish skin, and he had weird little talons. So it was like, the thing I really like about this, I just noticed it's almost like the Ultimate Spider-Man, not the TV show, but the Ultimate Spider-Man comics Green Goblin, where he's a giant monster.
Yeah. Mixed
with normal Green Goblin. I really like that, where Harry's got the little bit of disease that comes and goes and everything. I really like it a lot. I really, really like it a lot. I don't know, but then Norman dies, and Cameron, first of all, Norman is like one of my favorite comic book characters ever.
Yeah.
So it was like, I was like, oh, okay. It's not like, doing a backflip and Willem Dafoe getting hit by his own glider, but, I guess it works.
Which was an amazing scene, by the way.
It is. I'm gonna kiss Willem Dafoe's ass here. Willem Dafoe is so fucking awesome. I love him so much. So then, the whole thing was, and Harry didn't, Harry was just like, oh, my dad's dead. So that was pretty much it. And then one thing though is there was supposed to be a scene in the movie where like Norman's head ends up in a jar. I don't know if that means that he's gonna get resurrected. But
Futurama. Here we go.
Oh my god, no. That does sound amazing though.
It does.
The thing is, I feel like if they did that Peter would make that joke.
Probably.
I feel I want them to make that joke. But it was, so we got goblin heads. That sounds like a bad Goosebumps episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But, I don't know. Maybe they're going to resurrect him. Speaking of Speaking of deleted scenes. Oh my god, okay, so this deleted scene has recently been released online too, Cameron. You need to look it up. Because I know
Okay.
you haven't I haven't watched it, and I know you're really excited and you're gonna watch it like right after we're done recording, probably.
Yes.
Okay, so there's this whole scene where Peter's at the grave, mourning Gwen, and he's super depressed, which is amazing.
Amazing.
I really love it when he
I just
stands.
want to say this, people. A depressed superhero, nothing in the world can beat that.
Depressed Cyclops, depressed Superman, depressed Peter Parker, nothing beats it.
Just Batman. Not even you can't say depressed Batman because
That's
Batman
a good point. He's just
depressed.
Batman. Batman is just depressed. But yeah, I mean, so then all of a sudden his dad is there, and he's like, Peter, and then he inspires him to become Spider-Man again. And it's really emotional. Like, I haven't watched the full scene, but like I've just watched a Vine where they had Dokes from Dexter's voice a surprise motherfucker.
Really?
Yes, I need to show you that Vine.
You do.
You'd love that because you love Dexter, and I do too. Oh my god, but I don't even understand. This review is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I can't decide if it's good or horrible. We're having fun though.
While we're recording.
I have no idea. I can speak the truth, can't I?
Sure, why not?
I mean, it's not horrible. It's just like we're just having an interesting way of talking about it.
Yeah.
No, it's just fun. It's us. It's just us doing our shit. Fuck. So yeah. So do you think they should have kept Peter's dad being alive then?
Eh?
I don't at all. I don't think that scene should have happened. I can't believe they filmed it. Ugh, really. But also Aunt May, she's badass.
Aunt May is the spinoff we need.
Just imagine a movie about Aunt May being like think about it. What if in a swerve she's like, Peter, your parents aren't the only ones with secrets. And then she just slides him a DVD of Deep Throat.
What?
Peter, there's something I need to tell you. There's been a clitoris in my throat this whole time. I am Linda Lovelace. And then he's like, no, and then he leaves and he runs away. And then all of a sudden he picks up the tape and all of a sudden you hear the song go, my mind is telling me no, but my body. Okay, this is getting weird. But don't you agree Aunt May being Linda Lovelace is the movie we need?
Sure.
I just say remake Lovelace but with Sally Field.
Yes.
Yes, I would watch that.
Of course you would.
I like Sally Field. She's a good actress, whatever. Also, one thing is, I like it when Aunt May is kind of younger.
Yeah.
Like, she's not super old, but she's like, 50. Like, that was my issue with Rosemary Harris is, why does Peter have an 80-year-old aunt? Who's like, she's what, 75 in the first Spider-Man movie? Well, he's 15. So she's like, what, 60 years older than him?
Yeah.
Like, what? I was very confused by that. One thing, though, is, I really do... What if they go with the Clone Saga, and that's why Peter's parents are so important?
I don't get that reference.
You don't know what the Clone Saga is?
No.
It's the most iconically horrible Spider-Man storyline in history.
Oh, wait. I thought you were talking about Star Wars for a second there.
No. What Clone Troopers have nothing to do with that. I'm talking about the Clone Saga.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, Ben Reilly Kane, not the wrestler, the Spider-Man clone. Who's apparently Scarlet Spider in the current run. That's kind of cool. I really want to read that. Ben Reilly's my boy. I'm just saying. He's cool. I like Ben Reilly. Okay, so... I think we've talked about almost all there is to talk about in this movie.
Except Little Spider-Man.
Little Spider-Man. The spinoff we need but don't deserve. That was cool. That kid had balls to stand up to Rhino. And Rhino was gonna murder that child.
That's what we should have seen. People would have loved Spider-Man 2 for that. We need Rhino killing little children.
That is just not okay.
We should have seen that. That's what we should have seen.
The thing is, knowing Paul Giamatti though, and how out there he is, and he was a cartoon in this movie. I'm surprised he didn't just go, "Oh, I eat babies for breakfast." I will say this, the cheesiest line in this movie is at the beginning, whenever Paul Giamatti is just Paul Giamatti, and he's in the car, and he's like, "Oh, where are you supposed to be?" He's like, "I'm a killer." What the fuck? This is so stupid. Oh my god. I really, the more I talk about it, the more I really did like this movie.
Yeah, same.
I really didn't mind it. I will say the end. I will say this is the second Amazing Spider-Man movie in a row where the final shot is in the trailer.
Yeah.
But that isn't a spoiler though, because we didn't know he wasn't going to fight Rhino until the last scene.
We didn't.
Speaking of which, Cameron, are you aware of what the post-credit scene is in this movie?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you why you will not care?
Sure.
See, Cameron, I saw this movie in theaters.
I see.
Okay, so the post-credit scene, it shows you the X door in like Cerebro
Yeah.
from X-Men. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't have to explain to you that it's from X-Men.
You don't.
And then it opens and it shows that scene from Days of Future Past. You know that scene where Mystique goes into that camp?
Yeah.
It's that scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Well then.
It's an advertisement for Days of Future Past in the mid-credits.
Well then.
And the weird thing that makes no sense, they are owned by two different studios. So this is not some sort of... They're not going to share a universe, because one, that would make absolutely no sense.
No, it would not.
And two, because there would just be mutants around. That makes no sense. That would really make no sense.
Here's a way you can make me go see a Sinister Six movie. Have Goblin, Magneto, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Toad, and Blob.
Are you going to see? You're going to see the Sinister Six movie. Like you're going to watch it no matter what.
I am.
It's one of those things. Just, I guess when we talk about we more talk about like non-comic book fans that would go see the movies.
Yeah.
I guess not us, because I'm going to see it regardless.
Yeah, me too.
In theaters, maybe not. I'm not going to see Sin City in theaters, even though I'm looking forward to it.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just probably not going to. I don't know. I don't know who would go with me. I'll figure it out.
Why are we talking about Sin City?
I have no idea, because it's awesome. But, okay, yeah. Anyway, we're kind of dragging this on a little bit.
We are.
Just a teeny bit. So there's nothing else to talk about in this movie?
No.
I'm trying to think. Any plot holes? Any little giblets? Flash Thompson wasn't in this movie.
Nah.
Remember in the original Spider-Man trilogy when Flash Thompson was the werewolf dude from True Blood?
Yeah.
That was amazing! Oh. But I don't know. We need J. Jonah Jameson in the next one. That's all I want. I want J. Jonah Jameson to be the main antagonist of the Sinister Six movie.
That would be interesting.
Oh, you fucking goblins! What the fuck? I want it to be rated R. I want it to just be a hard R, and it's just J. Jonah Jameson basically becomes the comedian from Watchmen. If you don't know the comedian from Watchmen, look it up. They're basically the same character. The comedian's just a little more badass and awesome. And he'll be smoking cigars and, just shooting people. It'll be amazing. Just let me set the scene for you. So, John Lithgow, who I want to be Doc Ock for some reason, he, with his octopus tentacles, starts going towards him. He's like, "Oh, well, what are you doing here, Mr. Jameson? Let me tell you something, motherfucker. I came for some pictures of Spider-Man." He puts in his cigar, and he just starts shooting. I also want to see where he jumps out of a plane, and he just starts shooting at Green Goblin on his glider, and he doesn't give a shit if he dies or not. This is a spinoff. Scrap the Sinister Six spinoff. We make this spinoff called Jameson.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I do hope they scrap the Sinister Six.
I do too, but they won't though, because it's coming out in 2 years. I kind of hope they do. Anything is better than Felicia Hardy becoming Vultress, though. Remember that shitty idea?
Yeah.
Sam Raimi really did not have his heart set into those next couple Spider-Man movies. And then Tobey Maguire, he did drugs and stuff for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man. Hey, if I did Spider-Man 3, I would go do a bunch of drugs too. Okay, anyway, so Cameron, because we probably got to do the out of 10 now, what would you give this movie out of 10?
8.5 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8, solid 8.
Yeah.
I think it's a good movie. I think this and Spider-Man 2, the original Spider-Man 2, I think these are the two best Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's really, like, I think it's better than the first Spider-Man movie in this series and the old series, and it's way better than Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
So no, I liked this movie a lot. So yeah, we both gave it 8s. Or you gave it 8.5. Anyway, feel free to put whatever the fuck you want in the comment section. Favorite, like, subscribe. Tell us what you thought about this movie. Did you think it sucked? If you think it sucked, please give a reason. Don't just say, oh, this sucked. But give an actual reason, like what you thought about it, why you thought it sucks. Make sure it makes sense so we get why you didn't like it. Like Steven Larson disliking, or Steve disliking Winter Soldier. His reason, like, okay, I get why you don't like it. That's fine.
Wait. We're going to talk about this after the call.
We're going to talk about this after the call because Steve hates Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So yeah, just put whatever the fuck you want. Also, if you're gonna put spoilers, I'm not being as harsh since it didn't just come out like Guardians did. But yeah, if you're gonna put spoilers, just straight up spoilers, just put the spoiler tag and then leave some spaces. Look, really, come on, be generous, don't be a dick, because I will delete them. But other than that, put whatever the fuck you want in the comment section. I'm not gonna get rid of it unless it's too mean or it's like straight up spoiler.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Caleb.
I'm Cameron.
And we have no chimney. I forgot the line, I'm sorry. But we have no chimney.